I struggle with maladaptive daydreaming. This is a very like vulnerable video, but I have to be completely honest right now because the struggle is real. And I'm sure everybody has seen this term before, heard people talk about it, especially if you're on like TikTok and things like that. But if you haven't, maladaptive daydreaming, it's like daydreaming but to the extreme. I just really suffer with a lot of like escapism, and I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I don't know, I just be feeling like it's an elephant in the room. I'm just a very like I'm not a person who can come on camera and act like shit is all together when shit not all together. Like I'm not necessarily like going through anything or nothing like that, but I have to be honest. Like I've been a huge daydreamer since I was like 10 or 11. So it hasn't been all of, like it's been majority of my life, like most of my life, but it didn't start until like really like middle school or so. Or as I've gotten older, it's gotten better, but within these last couple of days, it's gotten like right back worse to when I was like almost like in high school and things like that. And I don't know exactly I don't know what triggers them. I don't know what triggers my daydreaming. I don't know what causes me to have these random ass scenarios. I don't know what makes me do that. I'm gonna just say that it's a damn struggle. Seriously.
Hey y'all, it's Kiki. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So, this is a very vulnerable video for me. Hopefully I posted the clip from September before this, but basically, like I said in the clip before, I am a person who has struggled with maladaptive daydreaming. But I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to give my 2 cents on it because I noticed that when I hear people talk about it, not everybody, but for the most part, when I hear people talk about it, they always discuss how it's so damaging to their psyche and just their ability to just function in the world. And while I at one point was in that phase of the habit of daydreaming, I've somewhat found a way to make it work for me and not work against me, if that makes sense. Like I've somewhat found a way to not be a quote unquote um like a servant or like some sort of like slave to my daydreams, and I've learned to switch it and make them work for me. And I wanted to share that. So here we go. Okay, so first things first. My daydream started back when I was about 11 to 12 years old. I was in middle school at the time. I don't know what triggered my daydreams to start, but they just started and they never stopped. And I would just get in modes where I would simply just listen to music. I always had earphones. I would listen to music. That's going to bother me. I would simply just listen to music and then I would just imagine scenarios. Or my favorite thing to do was, let's say I was listening to a song by Sierra and this particular song didn't have a music video or it didn't have choreography to it. I would come up with how I thought I wanted the music video to look and how the choreography should look and the costumes and things like that. I always did that with like different songs and things like that. Or if a certain song produced, like not produced but like triggered a certain emotion for me, then I would just come up with like a random ass like movie scene in my head. I've always done this since I was a kid. So that's how my maladaptive daydreaming shows up. For some people, they like to they do pretty much the same thing. Some people like daydream about romantic scenarios like being in love, or like I heard a lady say something about how like she imagines herself going up into space in a rocket ship. Like just I guess whatever, it's whatever really floats your boat. But for me personally, that's always been like my go-to. I've always been like creating in my daydreams. I'm always creating in my daydreams. So with that being said, with me spending a lot of time learning myself and just paying attention to myself, I learned that I am a creative person. And a lot of us are, not every single person on the planet, but a lot of us are very creative, but especially people who daydream a lot. So, with that said, I decided to stop spending my time in here. Or let me just say this: I decided to stop keeping my creations in here and letting them out. So around like 2020 and 2021, I decided to start writing out my daydreams. Or like, yeah, no, like writing out my daydreams. So like I said, if I would listen to a certain song, let's just say I'm listening to a song and it's making me feel like I've been in a terrible relationship and I'm finally getting out and I'm finally like free, right? I would write about that. So basically, I would drum up a character um, who is in a bad relationship and now she's about to get out, and I would write that as like a whole like little short story. So that was my way of like not really sitting around and wasting time just daydreaming all day, but more so giving myself an outlet for the daydreams. Some people pace back and forth in their room when they daydream. I'm not a pacer. I have to sit still because I'm so focused on the daydream. I can't really move and daydream at the same time. Like I can, but I can't. It's hard to explain. But in most cases, I'm sitting still and my ears are plugged and I'm just listening to music, daydreaming. So that's that. I wanted to really like, I've been doing a lot of self assessing lately, which I've been talking about in these past couple of videos. But I really wanted to self assess and figure out what was triggering my daydreams to happen so frequently, because it got to a point to where they kind of slowed down and I wasn't doing it as often. But then they picked back up. And so I was like, what? What the hell got me like daydreaming like this? Like what got me going crazy like this? And the fact of the matter is, when you have a very like vivid imagination like I do, anything goes, you know? So it was more so like a sense of excitement for, oh my God, like what can I create today? Like what can I see in my head today? Because it's almost like having your own like movie screen in your brain. I can't explain it, but that's the best way I could put it for me. So I was just like, um, I just get a huge sense of excitement about where my imagination can take me. But also the things that trigger, like I said, of course, certain songs will trigger certain emotions, and then I will go into daydreaming. But also, if I'm completely honest too, I think once I started reading a lot of fan fiction, which began in middle school, I was obsessed with mindless behavior as a kid, and so I came up during the Wattpad era with the Dr. August and all the other good mindless behavior stories. And I think that also like triggered my daydreams because I would start trying to come up with my own stories. And I even wrote my own story when I was in high school, but I ended up deleting it because I don't know, it was kind of cringe. So I was like, I'm deleting it. But fast forward now, I'm writing stories left and right. But anyways, but yeah, like I said, I think fan fiction would triggered it a lot for me. Music, but also too, I know that when it comes to maladaptive daydreaming, it's simply just a coping mechanism. Like it's a way for people to cope with certain situations or certain environments they don't want to be in. And everybody has their own different ways of coping. Some people use pharmaceuticals. Some people use liquor. Some people use sex. Some people are addicted to the gym and they cope with their situation by lifting hella weights. And some people daydream. Some people cope with not being in their desired reality by creating a reality in their brain. And I think that pretty much sums up maladaptive daydreamers. So, yeah, that's what, when I was doing my self-assessing, my first question to myself was like, what triggers it? Like what has been triggering it lately? And I think it's excitement for my future, because I think I spoke about this in the past, but it doesn't matter if I spoke about it. I'm gonna speak about it again. But basically, I've spent the whole entire year of 2024 trying to have a clean slate as far as like getting rid of just toxic people and just people who don't belong in my life. And now that I'm here and I have nothing but time and opportunity to just create the life that I want, I think the overwhelming feeling of excitement kind of just overtook, if that's even a fucking word. It kind of took me over, and I just was like, oh my god, like it's so many possibilities, it's so many different paths I can take, it's so many different ways I can go, it's so many different things I can do, so many different hobbies I can tap into, and I just started getting excited, and then my daydream started happening again. So I think that's what triggered it. But of course, like I still have some nowadays. Songs don't really trigger them as much as they used to because I've learned to control my mind through, like, of course, meditation and intention. So I can't say that songs still trigger me to the point to where I fall into a hour's worth of daydreaming, but they still very much give me, like, if I listen to a song and it's crafted enough to where it's like pure art, I can find a way to make a story out of it, of course. And I don't think that's like a big deal, but whatever, it is what it is. So the things that I've done to help lessen it, like I said, is I've given my creations up here an outlet. I don't hold them here, I let them out. So basically I downloaded Google Docs on my phone months. Well, I had it on my iPad first and I put it on my phone because I can't take my iPad everywhere. But whenever I get the urge to daydream, or whenever I get a scenario or a creation, I write it down. Real simple. I give it an outlet. I write it down, and now I'm like, cool, it's gone now. In no sense of like, there's really no need to dwell on it anymore or replay it over and over again because I've done it. I mean, like, I've done it, but I've given it um life. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it makes sense, so it does because I said so. I've gotten back into writing like crazy, and that's one of my favorite outlets. But yeah, but I've also decided to publish them, so that also gives me a sense of satisfaction. It gives me it brings my creations to life, and then it also gives me a sense of confidence because as I'm publishing them, as I'm publishing my writings, people are commenting and giving feedback and reviews and things like that. So it's also boosting my confidence in my own creativity. I wanted to say that I don't think that I just know for me personally, I don't shame myself for being a daydreamer because at the end of the day, everybody is human and we are all just like products of our environments and products of our upbringing. So, maladaptive daydreaming is simply just a coping mechanism. For a lot of people. For some people, it's their way of creating. And I was thinking about it and I was like, when it comes to these different like movies and stories, I mean, you go to a library, it's so many books in a library, so many books at Target and Walmart and just Barnes and Noble. These authors, these movie directors, these script writers, these TV show producers and things like that, these people had to have very vivid imaginations to bring this shit to life. Stan Lee literally created the fucking Marvel universe. That didn't just like, he didn't sit down and just start like sketching shit. That shit came from here first and then he brought it to life. So I personally do not shame myself and I don't shame other people for being daydreamers. However, now two things can be true at once. Yeah, you can be very creative and your daydreams can help to fuel your creativity and give you, you know, a good outline or a blueprint as to how you want your daydreams. I mean, how you want um your art to appear or how you want even just your day to go because there's a lot of people who daydream about setting their intentions about their day and their work and their business and things like that. But at the same time, too much of anything is bad for you. And if it gets to a point to where you cannot function because you have to daydream or you cannot control your mind, you cannot turn your daydreams off, then it's time to maybe try something that you haven't tried before and do that thing that you don't want to do. And for me, it was meditating. Meditating is one of the least my least favorite things to do, but it's helped me to gain control of my mind and control of my daydreams. I don't. I've gotten to a point where my daydreams do not run my life. I run my daydreams. I choose. Okay, it's time to let my imagination soar, or it's time to let my imagination run free. And then when it's time to wrap this shit up, it's time to wrap this shit up. Point blank. Period. So I know for me, if you are a person like okay, you're a maladaptive daydreamer if you click on this video. But for me personally, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna give myself a certain time limit. So I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes to daydream or try to drum up as much as I can in my imagination. Um, and then once that timer goes off, it's time for me to find something else to do. It's time for me to do laundry. It's time for me to clean the house. It's time for me to wash dishes. It's time for me to, work out, do some yoga or something like that. Like it's time for me to shift. And of course, in the first couple of days or weeks of doing that, it's not gonna be the easiest because you're gonna want to keep doing it. Because daydreaming is very fun for a lot of people. I know for me, it's very, very fun. I like daydreaming. But what's also fun is being at peace in your mind, um, and having control over your thoughts. That's also fun as well. It's very beneficial. So it's like pick your poison, I guess you could say. Um, so yeah, for me, I set a time limit and I give myself a certain time that I want to daydream. If I have absolutely nothing to do, like if I've ran all my errands, done all my chores or whatnot for the day, and I find myself extremely bored, I'm like, okay, I go into my Google Docs app and I let my imagination do the thing. You know, sometimes I let it do the thing before I even start writing so I can know like where I'm going, but you get the gist. Like I give myself a designated time to daydream and do what it is that I need to do for my mental. I don't believe that, excuse me, I don't believe that maladaptive daydreaming is demonic or evil. I hear people say that all the time, specifically religious people. I don't think it's demonic or evil. I simply just think it's a symptom. And like I said, a coping mechanism. Everybody has their. The fact of the matter is, everybody has their vice or the thing that they do to keep them sane or to keep them from going off the deep end. If you get what I'm saying. Some are not as healthy as others. But at the end of the day, people are human and we deal with this crazy ass world the best way we can, especially if you are American living in America. It feels like we live in a fucking sitcom on a daily basis. There's always some unserious shit happening. So I don't blame anybody for going into their mind for a little while and drifting out of reality. I don't shame nobody for that. But I don't think it's I personally don't think it's a demonic thing. I don't think it's evil. I think it's all about mindset. I think it's what you make it. And I think that we do know that when it comes to, I guess, quote unquote, evil. And I don't even know if I want to say evil. Let's just say the word goes, or it's said that the attack normally starts in your mind. So that's why it's important to get a control over your mind, because I know for me, I was like, I don't want to lose my creativity. I don't want to lose my imagination because it's me. Like it's by creative. Like it's my tool. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't want to lose my imagination. I don't want to lose my creativity. But it's not about losing the thing. It's about controlling it. Um, and you can't control it because it's you. It's your mind. You can control you and everything that comes with you. So it's very much possible. It's very much a thing. Also, I find that a lot of people, like I said, with daydreaming being a coping mechanism, sometimes if you are a very avoidant person like me, you can resort to daydreaming because you don't want to deal with whatever is going on. I'm here to tell you that it's very important that you take a deep dive and deal with whatever the hell is going on in your mind, because running from it is just gonna make it chase you. So I think it's important to face it. And I don't really want to go too deep into things like that, but I have to be honest. Like, if you grew up and and if you had a very traumatic childhood, and maybe you suffered from a very traumatic experience in your life, even if you were like a teenager or early 20s, anything can trigger you to not want to be in reality anymore. Let's just say that. So what I'm saying is, it's important that you find the root of why you want so badly to escape your reality, why you want so badly not to be present. It's important that you figure out why you want to be in your mind 24/7 and not in the real world. And you have to be completely honest with yourself. You can't just say, "Oh, well, have you seen the world?" Girl, the world is full of everything. It's full of good and bad. It's full of positive and negatives. It's full of good people and bad people. It's full of everything. Okay? But right now in your life, in your personal life, not in the world in totality, but in your personal life, what is it that has you not want to be present in a moment? You need to find out what that is and get to the root of that problem, because that will make it easier for you to put a cap on your daydreams, and it will make it easier for you to control your daydreams. Um, and your intention will be far greater as far as being more present and more aware of what's going on around you. So yeah, finding the root of your issues is very important. I know for me, like I said, it was my, well, I don't know if I said this, but it was just my environment and the people I had around me. Um, when you are surrounded by toxicity, eventually, you have to make a choice on if you want to stay in toxicity or if you want to have a very calm, peaceful, serene life. And once you make that choice, then it's time to continue to make that choice daily and not go backwards. Also, too, because I know you have a lot of, like, I don't want to say like woohoo people, but people like me who, I love taboo topics, and one of my favorite taboo topics is astrology. I love astrology. And you have people who are like, "Oh, you're probably really daydreaming because you have a lot of Pisces placements." And while that can be true, you're telling me every single daydreamer in the world has Pisces placements. But it's like, no, girl, we just suffer for some shit that we want so badly to run away from. But it's time to address it. That's just what it is. If you clicked on this video, then clearly you are trying to lessen your daydreams and bring yourself into the present more. So the fact that you even want to do that just goes to show how much you care for yourself, because some people are like, fuck it, I don't ever want to be present ever again. I don't give a damn. I don't want to be better. I don't want help. I don't care to get help. And some people are like, no, I need help because I want to be present. I have shit I want to do. I got people I want to meet. I got things I want to accomplish. And the last thing I want to do is be a prisoner in my own mind. So, with that being said, meditating is your best friend. Journaling, um, shadow work, being vulnerable with yourself. You can do all this stuff by yourself. You don't have to do this with other people. But if you feel safe enough to do it, then kudos to you. But me, I do it by myself. Embracing that part of yourself and learning to figure out where it fits in your life. For some people, it's a lack of self-expression. And so it's easier to express up here than express out here. But whatever it is, I say whatever it is that you see yourself doing here, you most likely need to do that in the real world, because if you're constantly imagining it up here, you're not fulfilled. And you probably won't be fulfilled until you bring that thing into life. So yeah, I wanted to discuss this. This is a very, very honest, open and honest video, but I don't give a damn. It is what it is. It's real life. With that being said, I can honestly say that I finally gotten to a point where I found a very helpful and beneficial outlet so that I won't be sitting up daydreaming all goddamn day. I tried to give the best example as I could, but everybody's not a writer. Like, not everybody is a writer. Not everybody is like an artist. Not everybody is artistic. But everybody's creative in their own way. But yeah, that is my personal experience with maladaptive daydreaming. And I hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to comment down below your personal experience, and if you have found a better way to deal with maladaptive daydreaming, or if you have lessened it, or if you are on your journey of trying to control it, please comment down below. Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Get into this fucking fluffy ass curls. I wanted to give myself a silk press, but I don't know how to silk press my own hair, so I said fuck it, just put some curls in it. I tried to silk press my hair, y'all, and I was looking like Prince Charming. I'm not gonna hold you. But yeah. Okay, that's really it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.